Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, what's going on, everybody? Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. One, two, three.
From last year.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Ooh, that sounds terrible. Hey, everybody.
Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
Why does that? Oh, this is why. Oh, Hunter got in here, didn't he? Because all the knobs are twisted. Hey yo, hey yo. Hey, 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 okay, okay, that sounds terrible. That sounds really bad. Hey, 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 hey. 1, 2, 3. I'm swapping this mic out. My son got in here, and he fiddled with all the knobs. So now my audio is terrible. Oh, boy. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Hey, hey. All right. All right, so we should have a really fun show today.
My son got in here.
I'll drop this down a little bit. There we go. Okay. All right, let's spread the news that we're live. Camera 1, camera 2, which I got to set up once Rich is in here. Whose first time is it here? Any first timers? Yo, Shin. We got to talk. We got to talk. So Andrew was not a good boy yesterday. I was not good at all. Hey, MG Geek. I did bad things. Hey, MG Geek, do you want to make a post in the group also saying that we're live with this link? I think they think that it's your group now. Oh, he made me a cocktail? Did he dip his finger in it? Oh, yeah. I love grapefruit juice. Do you know that? Out of all the juices, my favorite one. I don't drink orange juice. It's too sweet. I'm an elitist. You saw the laptop I got there on the counter? Yeah, it's a gaming laptop. It's a production laptop. Yes, I'm trying to learn it. I don't know where that came from. Mm-mm. I gotta set up your face. You want to turn it off? All right, mics are on. You want to? See, that thing is back. It's so weird. It works sometimes. It doesn't. Never look at the camera. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, that was like a quick shot at Taylor.
It's gonna have like a flaccid penis not belonging to me in it, and let people just wonder.
What is this?
What is this? A Vienna sausage? All right. Hey, everybody. No sound. Yeah. You have no sound? How about now? You got sound now. My God.
My God.
Hang on. Hey. All right. You good there?
Oh, baby, I'm good.
Oh, baby. I like it, bro.
I'm here, baby.
Let me hear you on the mic.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. All
right. I think that's good.
Yep, I think that's good. Mute that. Hit that little mute button on the computer here.
All right.
It's funny. Like, I've been using a Mac for quite some time.
Yeah.
And every time I use a PC, I'm just like, what do I do now?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
Where do I go?
What do I do? Where do I go?
Who this? You guys hear us loud and clear?
Are we porous?
I'm pretty porous. I have very big pores on my face.
Let's get Periscope going. I feel like we haven't done a show in weeks.
Which is funny because we've been on such a great schedule.
Yeah, and I've been doing those interviews.
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing the shows every week consistently. I feel like from last week to this week, we did not do any shows.
But we did.
I know.
How are your allergies?
So bad. And what I did yesterday did not help.
Please tell me that I think for the first time in my whole life, I may be getting allergies.
It's just my eyes, man. My eyes are on fire. My head feels full. I feel cloudy.
Yeah.
Everything is cloudy. All right. Let's get the party going, huh? All right. So we're also answering your questions at the end of the show. So if you guys want to ask us questions, save them for the end, and we will do our best to answer them. This, out of all weeks to do notes, this should have been it. I should have done notes today.
Oh, buddy. I wrote down a bunch of stuff.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. But it's mostly about the Superstar Shakeup. And just like... No, that is not the notes that I need. Okay, yeah. It's mostly about the Superstar Shakeup. And I feel like there's a lot of people... Like, once we get started, we'll figure it out, you know?
All right. Give me 2 seconds.
What are you doing after this? You got what to tech?
I got what to tech today.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I actually do need to make a trip out, but I have to do it after what to tech.
Wow, where are you going?
I have to go collect.
A little bit of this. A little bit of this. You want me to come with you?
You want to come? You want a strong on them?
Just go like, hey, stand there in the background.
I got a nice cocktail here already.
All vodka.
It's just grapefruit juice. You know what? A little vodka in there would have been great. I never keep vodka in my house.
Why not?
Because I always finish it.
Because you'll just drink it. Yeah. Yeah. It's always 0 to 60.
We'll just have one drink. Never happened. All right. I'm good to start. How about you? We got a couple people here. We got a couple people there. I'm ready to go in 3, 2, and 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Matt Men, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm Andrew Zarin. I'm joined by one of the many riches in my harem, Rich Stamboli.
Oh, and there are other names that you may not know. How are you today?
You're one of the riches.
One of the riches?
I just have like 8 of you in a harem.
I got a weird
feeding
thing.
me grape. Like grapes?
Grapes? I got a weird thing where I don't mind meeting other guys named Rich, but I do mind it when my friends have other friends named Rich.
You don't like it?
Because I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm the only one.
What do you think of Andrews?
You're the only Andrew I know.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because we're all terrible.
Yeah, you're
Every
the only,
one of us.
I know tangentially like 2 others,
Yeah.
but I'm not friends with them. I'm not buddies with them. I'm friends with you.
Yeah.
I'm barely friends with you.
Guys, we do have a lot to talk about. Obviously, the Superstar Shakeup was this week. I'm a little off today. I'm just letting you know already.
It's fine, baby.
From last night. I'm suffering right now, but a lot of changes happening, a lot of unhappiness at the WWE.
So weird.
A
Who would've
lot of
think?
rumors, a lot of news. So we're going to talk about all of that and a whole lot more. But of course, before we do, I want to thank our great sponsor, and that's Hover. I'm a big domain name buyer, as you guys know. I have over 200 domain names, and I keep adding more and more to them. And almost all my domain names are with Hover, and that's because of the ease of use of their service. Hover makes it super easy to purchase the domain name and be out of there without the upsell, without, sometimes you go in there, you want to buy one domain name, and you think it's going to be, X amount of dollars. Before you know it, you have $130 that you're spending out of your basket because they hit you with all these fees, all these secret things till the end. Hover does not do that. Hover doesn't play those games. Go to hover.com/Mattman. You get 10% off your first purchase. Buy your domain name. Guys, also, it helps us out when you're buying your domain name with Hover because then they come back and they keep giving us that precious moolah. Moolah, the wrestler. Not money. Hover.com/Mattman. I want to thank them for supporting the show.
So you're telling me that there are people that work for a mega corporation that aren't happy?
Amazing.
Crazy, huh? What kind of age are we living in?
A lot of, I know you took a little break from social media
Oh,
this
it was
week.
the best. It was like a vacation for my soul.
And you loved it. It was
I
great.
loved it. No
You
more
feel-
no toxicity.
Yeah, you're clean.
Mm-hmm.
So the Superstar Shakeup started on Monday. We had a lot of people jump ship from SmackDown to Raw. Obviously, big acquisitions being Almas, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles. Those are the big ones, right?
Yeah.
And Samoa Joe also, which is going to be announced next week.
Because he was like deathly ill, but
Yeah.
still backstage. So that dude's a trooper. So okay, so Raw, for the most part, like they did big announcements, right? But then they did like a couple of blurbs, and then there was stuff that was just released on WWE.com. And at that point, it's like, why bother? Andrade, that was the first one, big one, great get. Cedric, that was just like a little blip, right? But wasn't Cedric also on Raw? Question mark at one point when they started doing the 205 stuff.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm getting juiced on caffeine. Miz, I think is a great get.
Okay.
You can get like Monday Night Miz, Miz on Mondays.
Miz, I believe, has switched every year.
Has he?
He goes from one to the other like almost every single year.
Okay. Usos big get.
Yo, Tim Anger, $20
Damn.
funded us live here. Tim is the man. We have to send Tim something.
Thanks, Poppy.
You know what, Tim? I'm going to send you a Mattman mug. Not a mug, a beer stein like this. A Mattman beer stein. Message me your information. I'll send it over.
Tim, we're also going to send you 2 locks of our hair so you can clone us in the future. Naomi, big get for the women's division.
Yes.
I like Naomi a lot.
Yeah, but well, the Usos, right?
Yeah.
But they wanted to keep the Usos together, so all the Usos are on one brand.
All the Usos.
Yeah.
And then they went, they announced Lacey Evans, right?
Yes, they announced Lacey Evans.
And then, like, they did a Lars thing, and it was still unclear where he's going. But then, I think a couple of days later, they announced Eric Young, and subsequently, Killian Dane is nowhere to be found, and Alexander Wolf kind of quits.
Yeah, kind of quit.
So it's kind of weird. And then, one of my favorite, and then Harper may be quitting.
Harper. So very bizarre way that everybody's being so vocal. Now, I know that here's the big story out of WrestleMania that kind of came out late last week. It's the unhappiness of Bayley and Sasha. And I've seen such negativity towards Bayley and Sasha the last couple of weeks, which I find it so amazing how people turn on them as individuals, not so much the character. How negative people are of Sasha Banks and are calling her a crybaby and being difficult. And I'm thinking, do you know how many times Austin quit and walked out or got into a fight? Shawn, Brett, Hunter. I mean,
Shawn Michaels, I think, is the number one. Like, people don't understand how volatile Shawn Michaels was backstage, and also that he was so hopped up on whatever he was doing that not only do you have like a truant worker, you have a drug-addled individual who's calling the shots backstage.
By the way, that entire locker room, very very similar, right?
Yes.
As far as what you described at that era.
Yeah, fight for your spot and all that. The thing that drove me a little nuts is that people are taking are taking a dump on Sasha because of all the rumors. It's nothing factual. It's rumors and hearsay of her saying, like, I'm unhappy. Why do we drop the belts? Blah, blah, blah. You know?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, she's probably going to come to her senses and go on SmackDown. You know, I can't see her being on Raw, or maybe even go back to NXT, you know?
I don't think she's going to go back to NXT. I think she's going to be I don't know. I don't know what the option for her is. Will she do as well outside of WWE? Same with Bayley.
I think people always say, like, hey, this person should go to AEW or ROH or New Japan. But I think in the case with a lot of these guys, maybe they don't want to. You know, maybe if she leaves, she takes like a year off and then that's it. You know, I'm sure she's made a pretty decent living. She can probably live off appearances alone for like the next couple of years, you know, and not have to wrestle.
Somebody made an interesting analogy. He said to me, watching Sasha and Bayley is like watching two people at a cosplay convention.
Interesting.
That's the vibe that he gets. He doesn't get any kind of legitimacy as far as like these are important people.
Okay. Or is it because they don't fit the standard body type of,
I don't know. I don't know what the standard body type for WWE is right now because everybody's so different, right? They have such different looks, but
I do honestly think that they like WWE loves to do that swerve where they're like women's revolution, women's evolution, women's revolution. We have women who are all different. But then all of a sudden it becomes like
just the haircut.
Look at everybody who's got a boob job and Botox now, you know. So like you have Charlotte Flair, who's a great example, who is now like so Botoxed up that she looks inhuman, right?
Looking like a cat,
right?
That natty look.
Alexa Bliss got her stuff done.
I don't know.
No, she did.
Did she?
Yeah, she did. And then like she was like an average, you know, she was like a power lifter, blah blah blah. She got like a boob job. Sasha and Bayley are like, and Becky are maybe the three last quote unquote natural women. You know,
I don't know. I to me, I don't see. I get what you mean.
The Iconics, classic looking divas. Naomi, classic looking diva. In terms of like,
sure,
big up top, big on the bottom, lots of hair.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like a weird
it's
psychological
a mixed blend,
thing.
yeah.
You know,
and then you got Nikki Cross. You know, which doesn't fit that mold, and there's something special about her when you see her on there.
Same thing with Ruby Riott.
Yeah, Ruby Riott, another one, something different. Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I don't like to guess what people are doing when it comes to stuff like this. That's like a little personal. She's taking a couple weeks off. They think they'll have her by the next pay-per-view, which is Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah.
So maybe she'll be back by Money in the Bank. But if you are unhappy, the worst thing to do is go to work to your unhappy job.
Exactly.
You know, I understand the frustration that they were supposed to have those titles for a while and legitimize it and build it, and they went in a different direction. Listen, I think a lot of people are going to be very surprised at everything that falls out here, because if you'd realize the roster change, SmackDown has all the women now.
Yeah, do they?
I believe. I mean, they got.
Okay. SmackDown got Kairi Sane, Ember Moon, and Bayley.
Kairi Sane, Ember Moon, and Bayley,
and then they announced
on top of Charlotte and everybody else that they have.
And they announced Liv Morgan.
Mandy Rose, no. Was it Liv? It was Mandy Rose.
They announced Liv Morgan, Mandy, Sonya are on the show. Asuka's back. I like the fact that they put her in a tag team.
Yeah.
Can we, before we go into all that, my favorite part of, did you watch Monday?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part of Monday was the Sami Zayn bit.
Oh man, he's so good, huh?
That him sliding out of his chair was my favorite moment on Monday Night Raw.
Just him dancing was my favorite moment.
It's so good. Ronda left on what is called an impregnation vacation.
I know people are people are like, first of all,
she's trying to get that baby, bro.
Let her go live her life. Mm-hmm. You know, people are so worked up over this. That's all that I saw on Monday and Tuesday. Oh, she's getting a little too personal. Same dudes are staring at, you know, thong shots of Bayley, a thong slip of Bayley, dude. But this is too much for them.
Trying to buy Bayley panties online.
Yeah. But this is the moment they're like, gross.
Imagine if Ronda pulls like an old dirty bastard and then she has the kid and tries to get on welfare because she has the kid.
I want her to do that.
Get like Section 8.
I want her to do that. I want her to get Section 8 housing. Listen, she'll be back.
Yeah. Who
Mickey James, I believe, is on Raw.
She's been pushing to call herself the Monday Night MILF for the last week and a half.
I know these people are losing their minds.
Listen, I think that's
Vince is pumping the ether backstage.
I think that's great. So SmackDown, you had
Kevin Owens opened the show.
Kevin Owens opening the show. Kevin Owens joining the New Day, which I thought was going to lead to a turn. I do think Vince. My fantasy while I was watching it, I was like, Vince watched his Ring of Honor talk shows and his like the Kevin Steen show finally, and was like, oh, get him to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Except no PP talk.
So Kevin Owens, that crowd was really into him. I thought he was going to turn.
Yeah.
With the New Day.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to build to that. Kofi, what did you think of Kofi? How he's been represented the last 2 weeks?
I like it, man. I love it. Like I really like Kofi. I think this is a good. People like to play armchair quarterback, and hindsight's 2020. Like, oh, they should have put a title on him like 10 years ago. No, you know what? That's not how time works. They put it on him now. Make the most of it. It sucks that Big E is injured, but I do like him representing that title. I do think Roman is definitely the bell that tolled on that. Like the addition to Roman on SmackDown,
yeah.
where they're like, "Oh, great, he's not gonna beat Kofi, but somebody's gonna beat Kofi, and Roman's gonna beat who beat Kofi. That's gonna be the thing. It's gonna be a heel that beats Kofi.
It has to be like a real heel,
right? And then Roman beats the real heel."
Yeah.
Because you got to put that. If you're SmackDown's a touring brand, you got to put that title on.
The Montreal crowd was booing him.
They were booing Bailey too, man.
So the night before they were loving her. The night after they were booing her. I thought that was interesting. What do you think of Lars Sullivan?
I mean, honestly,
so he's on SmackDown, correct?
That's what they announced.
Okay.
So there's two things that I'm kind of split, honestly. And after Tuesday, I'll give you my honest opinion. My first impression was when he did the run-ins a few weeks ago was this dude is another Luther Reigns or another Nathan Jones.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? However, after this Tuesday, for some reason, just the way he destroyed R-Truth, like, he put so much emphasis on it, and this dude got so much air. And I was like, you know what? If they play this dude right, he could be a really good big man. I don't like the beard.
You don't like the beard?
I don't like the beard, but I think they should give him promo, and I think they got to do a little something, and he'll be like a viable threat. I just don't want to see him like get angry and yell, because like all those big dudes
just yell,
come out
they
like
get angry and yell.
The dude like Luther Reigns, Nathan Jones, Braun Strowman, they just come out and yell. You know, because they're so big they can't control their rage.
So big and confused.
It was just dumb. I think he has a lot of potential. And he seems like a nice guy. How do you feel about him?
So I'm very surprised because I was told that Braun was going to go to SmackDown. Braun and Roman.
Okay.
And Lars and him would be split.
Lars.
And
They should call him Lars.
Large. I can't talk today, man. I'm off.
It's okay.
Today.
Your this looks really good. Did you trim that yourself?
No, I had the barber do it.
I was gonna say that's a good job.
Oh, thank you. I thought he was going to stay on Raw. I think him on Raw would have been really good, and then move Braun to SmackDown.
Yeah.
But I guess because they need a strong heel on the SmackDown side, they decided to flip that around. I don't know, man. He's a big guy. He's impressive to look at. There's something, something there. I just don't know how they're going to do it. But you know what? The same thing was said about Braun. How people hated Braun Strowman. He wasn't ready. He was garbage. And then he got over so big.
But there was always like a little bit of charm about him, which I think.
With who? With Braun?
Braun, yeah. Plus, like, I feel like as a diehard wrestling fan, when I saw him, I was like, oh, that's like one of Adam Rose's party guys.
I actually want Lars to cut his first promo, and he goes, "I'm Lars Sullivan, but you may know me by something else." And then he like unzips, and it's Kevin Sullivan underneath.
Oh my god, amazing! I would like it if in a couple of years he turns his gimmick from Lars Sullivan to Mars Sullivan, and he's just like a wicked alien, like an awesome Martian. It is time to reveal myself, people of Earth.
Who do you put him up against as his first feud?
He beats Kofi for the title. Roman beats Lars.
Oh my god!
And then boom, Roman's over. I don't know, man. Like who? they did a very strategic thing of moving big men where they need to be. Like Joe is on Raw, right? And
They haven't announced it yet, though.
the rumor is that his feud on Raw is going to be Braun Strowman because they teased that a couple of weeks ago.
I don't know how that's gonna blend.
I like it, man.
I want him to get a prominent world title push.
Yes, absolutely.
I want him to have, because he's such a believable guy on that level. Having a title belt, he's so believable that this guy would have this or should have it.
I do think that's in his future because you have, let's say you do the Braun feud, loses that U.S. title to Braun, you reignite that Seth and Joe feud and go from there.
Yeah, so right now, they have not said anything as far as who's being teamed with who.
Right.
Which they've done actually 2 weeks in. They've done a good job at preventing that, and I think that that's really good. Something to mention, last Monday's Raw has been down 25%.
Oh, boy.
Since WrestleMania.
Oh, no.
That's 1 million people. They're gone.
Oh, wow.
SmackDown as well. The demos, which I have here if you're interested. Do you want to see this?
Yeah, please.
I have the numbers here. It was just sent to me.
3, 7.
5, 2, 3, 2.
I'm really enjoying kind of where it's going. I think the shakeup is a good thing.
Do you hear this?
That the sirens?
They're coming.
I think they're after us. It's Cesaro.
What the hell is the numbers? I just sent it to somebody. So they're pretty much down about 25% in all the demos that matter, and teenage numbers are above 25% loss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's not a good sign that they're down 1 million people from last year.
I think we have more viewers than
WWE. Yeah,
than Raw at this point.
Than Raw at this point. They not good, not a good sign, and I'm very surprised by that. So, who do you think has the better roster at this point? If you're looking at the roster,
I think it's evenly split, to be honest.
Evenly split.
Yeah, I think there's a few guys out with injuries, there's a few ladies out with injuries. I do think it's evenly split. I think there needs to be a little more, but you have Roman and Finn on the blue brand, right? Who are arguably your top level guys, right? But
okay, so stick
Yeah.
to that. What's the top level on SmackDown? We got Kofi, obviously.
like this is, I feel like it's a really good roster.
Okay.
Kofi, Finn, Roman, Daniel Bryan when he comes back.
Well, he's a little hurt.
He's banged up.
Something's going on, and they've been very quiet. And I was told that this is being treated very quietly.
Hush, hush.
So I don't know what the story is there.
So let's say a healthy Daniel Bryan, right?
Okay.
Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And I do like the addition of Elias, to be honest.
Well, he's gonna get a main event push.
Yeah, he's in for a big push. You got the Hardys
On the tag team side, okay.
and I think, are they the only tag team on SmackDown?
I think they're the only tag team on SmackDown.
It seems like Raw has all the tag teams, right?
Yeah, and SmackDown has generally the majority of the women.
And I also do think I think Gals and Anderson are Kaputski with the company, right?
I believe they are.
They haven't been on TV in forever.
I don't know.
And if they're going to revitalize the tag team division at any point.
Well, I was told they were good as gone, and then I was told that they're about to sign. So I don't know where we're at right now. But they don't seem like they're going to be around. Sunday is the last Shield match that they're airing live from a house show.
They also split Gable and
Rude.
Rude.
Which I was getting into them.
I'm okay with that. But poor Chad Gable, man, like every tag team partner he has gets taken away from him.
So where is Gable's on where?
I think Gable went to SmackDown.
He could get a nice singles push.
I think so.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
I think I think you're going to get some good matchups, especially with Finn as the IC champ, And if you noticed, I do think on Tuesday he was working a more wrestling style.
Finn was.
Than a Monday Night Raw style,
Interesting.
Like you have 2 minutes to go out there, do your thing, step on the guy, and let's go. They gave him like 20 minutes on Tuesday with Ali.
Yeah, that was a good match. I enjoyed that match.
It was fun. SmackDown was leaps and bounds, I think, better than Raw. Although Raw did have some entertaining moments. I did like the team up of Seth Roman and AJ Styles. And I do want to know what they were saying at the end of that.
Yeah, what were they saying?
You go here and I go here.
Yeah, it's like AJ's like, hey, I'm the man, right? And they're like, yeah, okay. All right, cool. This is great. Oh, everything's red. Everything's so red right now. It makes me want to murder. I think that's what he was saying.
So now, if we look at the WWE title picture, right? I naturally could see them doing Kevin Owens and Kofi.
Yeah.
Roman is in that. I don't know who his first feud is going to be. I don't know who it should be.
Who, Roman?
No, for
Kofi. Kofi's like real legitimate feud.
First feud, yeah.
Imagine if they just don't let him feud with anybody.
He just walks around with the title.
He just does like 6-mans.
Well, they're gonna have to have him feud with somebody. I just don't know who's the heel to do it with. Where's Randy Orton?
I do, yeah.
Orton's on SmackDown.
He did. I'm drawing a blank here, but he had a quick match and showed. I don't know who it was against. I want to say it was Kevin Owens, or maybe Roman. And then they wrestled a little bit. I think it was Roman. I think he tried to RKO Roman or something. They did him like a dark match, and then it just ended, and then they left.
Okay.
Can anybody confirm that? I do remember reading that happen. So I think Randy's still going to be on SmackDown,
yeah.
And I think you're going to get a Randy Roman deal.
Yeah. Hey guys, I do want to remind you guys, if you enjoy the show, go fund us on Patreon. Little as $1 per month, or you could do $4 a month, which is a huge help. You can fund us there, and it provides us with all the energy and the moolah to continue doing this. We will be doing. Are we doing a Money in the Bank show?
When is that?
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, maybe we'll do a Money in the Bank. We have a lot of bonus stuff. So I've been doing these interviews every week, and that's because you guys are funding us. So if you enjoy seeing more content from us, go to patreon.com/MattMenPodcast and fund us there. Thank you.
Beautiful. That was very nice.
Yeah, thank you. Anything you want to touch on? What's going on?
Besides what's going on with the Superstar Shakeup?
Yeah.
I do think it's a cool thing. It sucks that people are quitting, but at the same time, like, it's good. I think it's good for the business. Because you want to inject life into like that indie scene and perpetually keep doing that, you know? The fact that reportedly Bailey's unhappy. We've heard a lot of dissension in the last few months, but I do think a lot of that is a lot of hearsay because of the AEW stuff ramping up with their impending October live show and Double or Nothing and the Fight for Freedom show.
Do you know how that did on pre-sale?
No, I don't.
Did it go on pre-sale yet?
I do not know.
MG Geek, do you have anything on that? Because I saw something about pre-sale, but I was so out of it to look and care.
Oh, that's the other thing, too. Thanks, Caleb, for bringing that up. How do you feel about the War Raiders being repackaged as the Viking Experience?
Do you know what the other name was?
The Berserkers.
The freaking Berserkers.
Which would have been awesome.
I would have actually preferred the Berserkers.
Yeah.
This is all a Vince thing.
Oh, 100%.
Everything they don't like the term war.
Right.
So war is gone. And they couldn't be the Raiders because the Raiders are an NFL team, so you can't trademark that. So they went with the Viking Experience.
Can I tell you my image of what happened?
Yeah, go ahead.
So they had a meeting with Vince. They were like, all right, pals, you're gonna both get brought up to the main roster on Raw. Talk to me I don't know anything about you. And then Hanson is like, well, my name's Hanson, and I'll wrestle for you, and it's great. I don't know what he sounds like, but I'm assuming that's what he sounds like.
And what does Rose say?
And then Rose he's like, what's up with the outfit? And he's like, well, my wife, what's her name? Sarah Logan.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we try to live a very plain lifestyle.
Yeah.
We try to live, we go to Renaissance fairs. We build out.
What kind of fairs?
We make our own leather.
What is that?
We try to live our life with a real Viking experience.
Oh,
and then
God.
The light went off, and he was
That's
like,
it.
Oh,
Eureka.
I got it. You're gonna be Eric, and you're gonna be Yusev, or whatever they named him.
What did they name him?
Ivor.
Eric and
Ivor. Ivar, I think. Guys, help me out here. And then we're gonna give you a wig and a hat, and we're gonna give you a horned thing that probably used to belong to Sheamus for some reason. And then you're gonna go out there and you're gonna deliver the Viking Experience every Monday night. I think that's how it happened.
Oh, he's you know what he's thinking of selling? The Viking horns.
Oh, it's the best. The
They're
wig.
gonna sell the wig, the helmet, the horn.
I do think they are good enough to overcome this.
The terrible name.
And I do think because they come out with such energy that they're selling it. And this is their test. This is their test because I think, again, this is from a fan's perspective. I do think this is a test because Vince probably saw them and were like, "Oh, you're not as big as I thought you were going to be. Let me bust your chops a little bit." And then they're going to end up being called the Vikings.
They're gonna be called the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vikings would be a better name than the Viking Experience.
Yeah.
The Viking Experience is the new world champ. You know,
Ivar. Yeah.
Ivar.
Which is
Yusef would be better also.
I think Ivar. If anybody ever played Banner Saga, the game that is about Vikings, I think Ivar is one of the big Vikings in the game.
Oh my god,
which is kind of funny.
Terrible names.
Yeah.
But Vince is on a renaming thing. You saw what Punishment Martinez's name is?
Oh, it was the Destroyer Priest?
Something like
Deacon
that.
Priest.
Deacon Priest.
Yeah, it's something Priest,
Deacon
right?
Priest.
Desmond Priest?
I think it's Deacon Priest.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
So stupid.
Priest Deacon.
Terrible. What if you had to rename anybody on the roster? Who would it be? Give me a real one. Give me a real one. Give me a funny one.
I really love Rick O'Shea.
Okay.
I would have loved a doing a jig and everything coming out.
I still like Freddie Japan.
Freddie Japan is my favorite one.
But it also would be funny if they changed if they just blatantly changed AJ Styles' name to Flip Gordon.
I sometimes just want them to have regular names.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roman Reigns is like that's like a real
showbiz.
That's a show. I want him to be like Barry, like Smithskin.
Well, you already had that stuff.
I want Roman Reigns to be.
That
Barry.
era, like the NWA era of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like that and WCW was all like, Mike Rotunda.
Yeah.
That sounds like a guy who works at the body shop across the street, right?
Mike Rotunda? Yeah.
Yeah.
Rotunda Body Shop.
Joey
Salami.
Joey Salami.
Joey Samoe.
Joey Samoe.
How do you think Vince McMahon do you think he gets like the whole oos thing? Does he he's like, why are they all oos?
I don't think he could say
What
it,
is oos?
and I think he just says use.
Use.
Hey, use.
Bring those Uso guys.
He just avoids saying it. Jimmy and Jay, come here.
So what did you think of Vince at the end? Because I love old senile Vince that doesn't know what he's doing, but he thinks he's doing something great.
He's starting to look like Skeletor.
Okay, him clapping for Elias,
like so good.
He seemed like a really out of touch old guy that just dumped a whole lot of money into something he knows nothing about.
You mean like football?
Yeah, like football. Him just clapping at Elias and thinking it's like his genuine reaction of this is the greatest star I've ever made.
He loves Elias.
I thought that was so good how he played that. And Roman decked him hard.
Yeah.
He had a little mark on his
little
face.
Smush right here. Make it look good, Roman.
And then you go one of those.
But it was really well timed because I feel like he trusted Roman enough to clock him, but he also trusted Elias to catch him.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
You better catch me. Aren't you Seth Rollins? And I do think there's a lot of goodness for Elias, I think, in the back because one, that guy always delivers.
Dude,
natural heat.
He's big.
Big dude. Without like the drapes on him, he's a big guy. And also great on the mic, can play guitar, and they shortened his name to the point where I think they're just gonna call him Eli because it was like the Drifter, Elias Sampson, Elias,
Drifter.
and then they're gonna E. I liked it. I like that bit. I love how adult men boo. We've been to many shows where adult
never experienced that
dads just will stand up and boo this person like it was like a Mets Phillies game.
Yeah.
And obviously you were with the Mets and then, you boo the Phillies or the opposite, whatever it is, whatever you guys want to do. How did you feel about that? Do you think Vince looks like Skeletor from the 1987 Masters Universe movie?
A little bit. I can see it. Now that I think he's looking bizarre with his Botox.
I think it's lack of.
Lack of? No, I think there is Botox.
Because he's just, it's like, he's still big.
He's thinner.
He's standing. He looks good, but I think his face is melting. Like the dude in the dudes in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Has he been the most featured promoter on a wrestling product ever?
I would say probably Vern Gagne still takes the number one spot.
Yeah, Vernon was
because he put the belt on himself, right?
Yeah,
and his kid,
his dopey kid.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cared about. Some interesting news here. Developmental signees are still getting paid $50,000 to $100,000 a year. This is according to a feature in Sports Business Journal. The average developmental talent will earn $80,000 a year.
Wow, that's not bad.
$80,000 a year. The top talent makes $150,000. Now that's most people's. There are certain exceptions to that, like obviously Samoa Joe was making more than that.
Kushida was probably making more than that.
I don't know. Maybe you know what, for Kushida to make $150,000 a year, going to NXT and then going to the main roster. I'm curious how that's going to play out. But that was just some news I thought was interesting. How it really hasn't gone up because it was $50,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's
what they offered AJ initially to go to developmental.
I think when I remember reading when NXT first started, when they just before the network and all that, when you had Pac as Adrian Neville.
Yeah.
I think those guys were making $26,000 across the board, and that's why they all lived with each other. Because it was like giving a 22-year-old guy's salary.
I was told it was still 50 to 100.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. At that time.
Interesting. Yeah. I was told it was that, but most guys were making closer to 50 than to 100. Now I think a lot of these guys are making closer to the 150 than the 50.
You think they have any interest in two mid-30s podcasters?
To go to developmental, I think so.
Who have zero in-ring experience?
Yeah, I think that'd be perfect for them.
If this would be a great gimmick too, but we'd have to bring the desks with us.
We're podcasters,
yeah,
that know everything about wrestling.
And then, somebody's gonna steal this, by the way. Yeah. And then at some point, somebody's gonna be like, "You guys are the worst," and then we rip off our shirts. Yeah. And then we just tag in. That's it. Nice. This is our corner.
We just sit at the desk, and then when it's our time, we just put the mic away and we just go up.
The corner is set into the ring.
I like it. I'm looking forward to some AEW stuff. You know, it looks like a lot of these guys are thinking the grass is greener on that side. Mm-hmm. Right now, Dean Ambrose leaving WWE obviously is the big story as to where he goes and what he does. I would say AEW would be the best place.
New Japan.
I don't think he's gonna want to do that.
The Impact Zone. I don't know. Listen,
Impact was making a serious bid for Kenny Omega and the Bucks. Can you imagine that?
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a great question. If AEW did not assemble this year, where would all these guys be? Kenny would be in WWE.
You think so?
100%.
Okay.
I think the Bucks would be in WWE.
Okay.
I think Cody would still be doing whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kenny was going to stay in Japan beyond this contract. Okay. Listen, there's a certain point that everybody wants to make a difference, right? And that's like the whole thing about them, that they want to make a difference. But you're not going to really. You also are a little selfish, and sometimes you want to be at the at the biggest stage of them all.
That is true. And I don't think that'll ever be beaten. You know, it's one thing to make money and take care of your family, which it seems like AEW will do. But do you think they'll get to the point where it's like, well, we're in direct WrestleMania competition?
Well, I think that's a great question, right? Let's look at this. They have an opportunity. They've sold out, obviously, the All In show.
Yeah.
They will. I don't know what the July show is looking like. I know that the pre-sale started. I've heard nothing beyond that. There's no card about that show. And then they're looking to do Chicago again for All In 2.
Cool.
I called it All In. I'm talking about Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I think I got confused about what you said. So Vegas is Double or Nothing, but they are going to do an All In 2 in Chicago.
At
some point.
Yes, they are.
And then Florida and Jacksonville is going to be Fight for Freedom.
Fight for Freedom. Yeah.
And then October is going to be the TV show. I think it's such a viable option for these guys, but also at the same time, it's a fledgling company. People there's no product yet. I do like the docuseries because it's keeping the fans in tune with everything, and plus being the elite keeps the fans in touch with all that stuff. You know, great roster so far, and they keep announcing matches like here and there. I want to see where this goes, and I think the Khans will probably do a good job with it. But again, do you think a guy like Dean Ambrose cares? Do you think I feel like that guy is tired and needs a rest?
Fight for the fallen.
Fight for the fallen.
What
sorry.
did you say?
Fight for freedom.
Fight for the fallen. July pre-sale tickets are supposedly to start at noon East.
Today. Okay.
So we'll have a better answer within the next couple hours because we pretty much got word that from the last pre-sale that it was sold out. Now, this is not in a destination location.
Right.
They're in Jacksonville in July. I don't know anybody that people from Jacksonville don't want to be in Jacksonville in July. So this is going to be an interesting test to them, considering that the Dallas show for New Japan, that's also in July, has not done well.
Okay.
As far as ticket sales go, that's a giant building of 16,000. I believe they had 4,500 sold.
Okay.
So not a good indication of interest for New Japan on that side. So I don't know. Maybe it's a month. A lot of people are on vacation. A lot of people are traveling. A lot of people are doing things.
Yeah.
I don't know if this show in Jacksonville is necessarily going to be a great thing. And they are in a big building. They're going to be in the training facility for the Jaguars.
Okay.
So
it's going to be their performance center.
Maybe. So they are doing something. Sean says there's only 5,500 seats, but all of those seats are like VIP seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb brought up a very good point where he's like, the big four for AEW could all be named after like, just card stuff, like poker, like get Double or Nothing All In. I like this one because if they ever did an Undertaker deal, they could call a pay-per-view Dead Man's Hand.
Dead Man's Hand. I like that.
The Turn, Quiver on the River. It's so endless. Aces High.
Are they in the amphitheater or are they in the where the Jags play?
I'm not sure, but Sean says he lives in Jacksonville and the amphitheater is top notch.
Interesting. Listen, man, I'm excited that they do well. I want them to do well. Impact, I got word that may be on a way better channel after the fall.
Really?
Yeah.
Like CBS.
Not like CBS, no, but definitely not Pursuit. Somebody that was in the bidding for AEW.
The Playboy channel.
The Playboy channel.
That's cool, man. Like as a fan, I want all these companies to do good. I also love the speculation of like, not so much that people aren't happy, but like where does everybody end up, And obviously like the big thing is Dean Ambrose, but he is the biggest guy who I feel like they're still trying to lure him back, or they're like, he's doing the good night.
I'm sure they are.
He's doing the farewell thing. They're announcing that he's leaving. They're doing the Shield thing. Whereas like Kenta, Luke Harper, Alexander Wolf, they are just like, we don't care about these.
What does he change his name to?
John Moxley.
You think it's gonna be John Moxley?
Yeah.
Curious how they play this. Where does he fit in well?
Dean Martin.
Dean Martin. I want it to be Dean Martin.
I do think if it's either going to be at work, the dude seems like a guy who maybe needs a year off, take some time off, breathe a little bit, right? And then he is the Bullet Club killer
in Japan. That's what you're going with.
Him and Jay White all the way.
Yeah. Guys, submit your questions if you want us. Let's do our mailbag now. I'm really tired, and I should not have been a bad boy last night. So I want to do some mailbag questions here today, and I got to do What the Tech today. I got a busy day.
Yeah. Are we ending?
No. We're going to do questions. Yeah, I just want to get the questions. Here's one.
Guys, give us your questions and your lap dances.
And your lap. You want to read Sean's?
Question from Sean Clement. What do you think of the split between AJ Styles and Randy Orton? Thoughts on scrapping the WWE versus Indie storyline? I think that came to an end at WrestleMania, and I am cool with that.
Yeah, but it was quick, right? They just did a one-off, and then they were done.
Yeah.
I really like those two wrestling.
Yes. They did a really good job.
Like, I really like seeing them wrestle. A lot of people don't like Randy Orton. I appreciate his style.
Yeah.
It's a real throwback, and it's very methodical and slower pace. And I think for AJ, he kind of likes that. And it goes well together, in my opinion.
I did hear somewhere that if the ground itself birthed a wrestler, it would take the form of Randy Orton.
Yes.
You want to take the next one?
Yeah, Caleb says, question, I assume you saw Lana's Snapchat yesterday. A lot of people on social media want her fired, but they didn't want to fire Paige. Thoughts? I have not seen it. I've been told that it's very possible that's not them.
Did she put Rusev up her butt?
It was, yes, that's exactly what the video
Like
is.
his head?
It's them practicing coitus.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
But there's no proof that it's them. Someone could have just hacked it and just posted a video.
It'd be funny if they were trying to get fired and they were just like, well, we don't fire people for that anymore.
Yeah. Well, people, it's amazing. People want them fired. They're talking, on social media.
Why? Like
Because people are toxic.
Yeah, that's true. I did take a nice vacation from social media this weekend. It felt amazing. And it all got ruined when I saw a Finn Balor picture this morning and somebody wrote, great, he's just rehashing the old stuff. I was like, go after yourself.
Yeah.
Josh, Tyquise Morton question: do you think that WWE bring more top guys to SmackDown before the fall move? Because I would think there's another shakeup after SummerSlam.
There will be more for the debut.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see a lot of older people come in. Like I expect The Rock to be there for
Legends.
the first week and Austin,
Yeah.
and they're gonna really pump it up like that. But Brock Lesnar should be a SmackDown guy now.
Yes.
Roman
Roman and Finn, man, that's
and you got Roman and Finn.
the first steps right
yeah,
there.
you're gonna have a lot of these guys, and then Ronda, when or if she decides to come back, obviously they'll have her there on that side. But they really don't have the star power. You want to talk about moving star power? Other than Roman Reigns, who's their top guy? Who's a guy that's gonna move the needle a little bit
On SmackDown.
on SmackDown?
John Cena.
John Cena, yeah, and he'll most likely be there. Yeah,
Yeah.
other than that's it.
100%. That's the first name that pops into my head. We got another question here from Josh Freerks. When the Viking experience starts cutting promos, what do you hope to learn about the Viking culture and history? I know all I need to know about Viking culture from the show Vikings.
Cured
And
meats.
history.
I want cured meats. I want pickled. I want to learn how to pickle stuff.
I don't think the Vikings pickled stuff.
You didn't think they pickled
No,
anything?
I think they spiced stuff. And
They
I don't
cured
think they
it.
cured meats because in those there's no cows in.
No salami?
No, they had rabbits and like goats and
What
sheep.
did they do
and
with
stuff.
them? They just ate them
Ate 'em
raw?
and bumped and pumped them.
Okay, and humped them.
What do we got here? WR1 Network. Did any of you see me get WWE tattooed on my face? I put it up on YouTube. No.
No.
If you can send us a picture of your tattooed face, that would be great.
Why do we have face tattoos?
SoundCloud rap. Yo, let's be SoundCloud rappers. Get our face tattoos and then just mumble rap the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be in it.
Yeah. Ring Profits, Wrestle Chat. WWE is slowly setting up for a Braun versus Lars. Thoughts? I don't think they are.
You don't think they're setting up what?
Braun versus Lars.
No, they're keeping them far, far away.
Yeah. Every show needs their big guy.
Yeah, they're keeping them far, far away. They don't want those guys to be anywhere near each other for a very long time. Because that's a great, one-off. Royal Rumble, they're both in a ring, and then
Absolutely.
Brock Lesnar's music hits, and then Big Show comes out,
Oh, all the bigs.
and then Giant Gonzalez, and then The Undertaker, and Goldberg.
Oh,
And they're all there in the ring.
all the big people. You want to take another question?
Yeah. You want to read? I'm looking at this guy get a face tattoo.
Did you from Transferring Heat podcast? Did you watch Dark Side of Wrestling? I only saw the Bruiser Brody episode, and it was freaking-tastic. We also were chatting with the creators a little bit on our Twitter account last week, and they were very nice people.
Yes, very nice people.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I like it a lot. I really want to see more. It was really well done. I really like the Bruiser Brody one. I even watch it with my wife because, like your wife and you, love true crime.
Okay, I did not like the Macho Man one.
I didn't see it yet.
I like the Bruiser Brody one,
Mhm.
and Montreal aired last night. And there's a lot wrong with the Montreal one. I didn't really. It was okay. It was fine. Like if you don't know about it, then you'll find it interesting.
Mhm.
But like Scott Hall's like, yeah, it was a work, man. They were all in on it. Even Brett was in on it. It was all a work. And then Jim Cornette, and then it kind of goes into this bizarre fight between Jim Cornette and Vince Russo.
Oh my god!
Like it takes like a turn for that.
Uh-huh.
it was fine. It was okay. The next one after this, I believe, is Gino Hernandez.
Oh, really?
And the Gino one is going to be really interesting.
That I wonder if a Dino Bravo one is in the works too, because that guy got.
I saw the list.
That guy got murdered for cigarette smuggling, right?
Yeah.
Like old school mob stuff. All right. Let's get more questions, guys. Try not to repeat the stuff that was already talked about, if you don't mind. Do you guys feel, from Nicholas Quinn, do you guys feel Raw will still be? I also really want to see this guy's face tattoo. And also try not to ask us questions about yourselves, because we don't know what you do in your free time.
What do we get asked?
Did you see my face tattoo? Nicholas Quinn, do you guys feel Raw will still be deemed the A flagship show after the Fox deal kicks in? That's a good question. What do you think?
After the Fox deal kicks in, maybe.
Mm-hmm. You think the Raw still be number one?
I don't know. No, you know what? I believe Raw will still be number one after a couple of weeks.
Okay.
You think they're gonna do 3 million?
I think so. I think for the first month at least. You know, I think
that first show will probably have a monster number.
Yeah, I think it's gonna wane. I also do think that once everything's in place, the promos on Fox are probably gonna be completely loco bananas.
Yeah,
like they're gonna be nuts. Like you're gonna get interruptions during Fox shows with just like the Undertaker with his eyes rolled back and like electricity and like John Cena like punching dudes in the nuts, you know, and just like Nakamura.
Yeah. I'm into this.
Really kinetic stuff. Damon Estrada, what's y'all thoughts on this John Oliver and WWE contract controversy? We spoke about that last week, so you can look that episode up on YouTube.
John Oliver did not say anything new. Yeah. There was no expose that this unveiled. We this is how it works. They are independent contractors. They're not employees technically, but they also are not allowed to go and practice somewhere else. Essentially,
right? Okay.
So what John Oliver's talked about was nothing new, and I think it kind of it went away. It's over. Like nobody cares anymore.
It's also satire, so you can't really you can't be mad at a guy for making a joke. You know, I think that's the dumbest thing people could do is get mad at somebody for making a joke.
What were they mad at that John Oliver said?
Just like, this guy's like a douche, he's like a mark, and blah, 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 and like, you know, F him. And then it was, the other side of it was like, oh my God, this is a very serious report, F WWE.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, like it's satire. And clearly the guy was a fan, and it was a fan-produced thing. So whatever, it is what it is. Let's see here. There was a good AJ Styles. Oh, Sean Clement again. Who will AJ Styles face next in a storyline? I hope it isn't another Impact wrestler. Let me tell you who it's going to be. Bobby Lashley.
Dude, him and Lashley had a nice little program. They were going. I thought that main event was really good on Raw.
Absolutely,
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I could see Bobby Lashley a little bit, and then eventually Seth. Where you could have that feud with Seth built in.
Absolutely, I think Seth is due for a heel turn.
Seth on a heel turn. I loved him as a heel.
Yeah, because Roman's done, Dean is done. There's no reason to keep Seth like the good guy.
Who's the top heel on SmackDown? On Raw?
Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre.
That's it. No, Drew's on SmackDown now.
Oh, okay. Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Do you guys, from Eric Grisanti, do you guys think they're going to actually split the women's titles again or eventually unify? Will they unify the Universal and WWE? I really hope so. 2 main titles is and has always been dumb. That's a very long question.
I like that question.
That's a good question.
So they are going to split the titles. From what I was told, when she loses one title, it'll lead into her feud for the other.
Okay.
So somebody's going to cost her, I guess. Like, I'm not saying that this is what's happening, but I was told that that's how they plan on doing it.
I'd keep them unified until SummerSlam, have a triple threat, and that's how she loses.
And have, winner take, each title.
Yeah, so like somebody from the brands,
yeah, each
brand will take the title, you know? Let's see. Ring Profits Wrestle. Do you mind that I'm reading the question?
No, please.
Do you think WWE will do an Ali versus Kofi program? Ali is heel possibly. Would be a great match. Just need to be set up. No, I don't think so, man. Like Ali's a hot commodity as a babyface for them right now, and so is Kofi.
Yeah, I don't know. Kofi's not. He's not a long-term champion for them.
Right.
So I'm curious how they get the title off of him.
But again, look at Jinder Mahal.
Look at Jinder, and then look at where does Kofi go after this?
That's true.
Because Kofi was the chase.
Right. Well, great chase. Amazing chase.
Yeah.
And that was a happenstance because of Ali. Ryan Armstrong, who do you think will win Money in the Bank next month? I say Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair. I can't see Roman with that big dumb suitcase, so I'm going to go with Elias.
You're going to go with Elias. I'm going to go with AJ.
Okay.
And AJ and Ember Moon.
Ooh, that's interesting. For the ladies, I'm going to go Lacey Evans because she can make that like a nice little attaché case.
Yeah, that would be nice. Actually. That moonsault. That Chris Daniels split-legged moonsault.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
She did a good job.
She did, but she freaking crushed Natty's arm.
I like that her finish is called a woman's right.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Caleb English, this is a personal question. Am I the last one on earth to find out that Seth and Becky are a couple? The answer is yes.
Yes.
MG Geek says Drew did not move. He is on Raw.
Drew's on Raw? I thought he moved.
Tim Anger, what do you think of a rich heel turn on Andrew?
I would love that.
Damien Estrada, do y'all see Big E will turn on New Day when he returns now?
I think so.
We already did the Money in the Bank thing.
That'd be a cool thing, though. I wasn't even gone a week and you replaced me. And Kofi, by the way, was not Kofi. I'm sorry. Xavier was really pissed off.
Yeah.
About the switch because it's affected his
that was
gaming.
Great. That was great.
So he started shooting live about up, down, down, and how he wanted he wanted certain people on the roster. And now he lost them.
That's great. Tyquise Morton question, all caps, which is angry. Do you guys think that WWE will put the title on Drew? I think he should have had a push.
Yes.
Yeah, at some point.
I think so.
Sure. What do we got? What do we got, guys?
Let's see. AEW seems to have a lot of baby faces. If Marty leaves Ring of Honor for AEW, which he will, any day now, AEW, could you see him as a heel? No, I think all of them are going to be baby faces, and they're going to have to slowly build the heels.
Absolutely.
You're not going to see. I think MJF right now is their number one heel.
Absolutely, and Pac.
Pac is a strong heel.
Jericho.
MJF is a big So they do have top heels.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I like it, man. I'm good with them being faces and all that stuff.
I'm a little concerned as to the patience people are going to have with them testing different things.
Okay.
I know that they're going to be big on testing certain things, but I'm curious how much patience the internet audience is going to have for some stuff that people maybe deem stupid.
Well, nobody has patience anymore. You need immediate gratification, which means that in one night, everybody wants to see Roman lose everything, win everything, Finn Balor win every title, Becky hold those titles forever. They want what else do the fans want? AJ Styles and the Bullet Club reunion forever.
You know what?
They can't have two Bullet Clubs.
They can't have it. They can't do it. They'll just
Mm-hmm.
constantly. I thought it was such a great opportunity. I'm like, oh my god, AJ and because when they didn't announce Joe, I thought, oh okay, so staying the way it is. I would have loved to see AJ and Finn.
Yeah.
On like something with the club, like AJ saves him and then they reunite him a little bit and they could have an internal struggle. I'm the leader, I'm the leader, and then Gallows and Anderson have to pick one.
Yeah, I do think that you're gonna get an AJ Styles Seth Rollins feud.
Yes,
in the next year.
Yeah, I'm into this,
and I think you're gonna get Joe thrown in there at some point. It's like really good, and Andrade also.
Yeah, because with Roman out of the Raw picture, it changes how that title picture is going to look.
Absolutely.
Because now you don't have to have the title on Roman or Braun.
Right.
I don't think the title should go on Braun. I think they missed that opportunity by putting the title on Braun when they could have.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a special attraction. They could keep him special.
Absolutely.
He looks ridiculously ripped, huh?
Yeah, he did like some challenge where he lost a ton of weight. Yeah. And now he's back to bulking up, apparently. He wanted to be shredded for the Andre.
Yeah.
And I saw it on his Instagram where he was like, now I'm gonna start carving up again, bro. I read the other day that this dude would eat well over 10,000 calories a day when he was strongman competitioning,
Wow.
and would end the day with a triple Whopper from Burger King.
My God, can you imagine?
I can't. I mean, like, I know people that eat that way that aren't as
Yeah,
big
yeah,
as
I
Broad,
do too.
but like, imagine just working out like 15 hours a day, and all you do is eat. All you do is eat. You know. When
Let's
you
see.
when you were working out really hardcore,
Yeah.
how many times a day were you eating? Did you keep it to 3, or did you do the 6 to 8 meals?
No, I didn't. I never. Well, let me see. In the morning, I would have 2 eggs.
Mhm.
For lunch, I would have a bottle of Pinot Grigio
Oh,
and
yeah.
grilled chicken and grilled chicken, and then I would have No, I would do 3 or 4 meals.
Okay.
But it was generally just protein. It
And
was
the
just
eggs you
chicken.
would just smash on your face.
smash on my face. Yeah.
You wouldn't eat them.
No, just a
Just protein. A lot of
Yeah.
protein. A lot of protein.
Any
ingredients.
word on Daniel Bryan's injury? No, and they've been very hush hush, so that's not a good thing.
Nicholas Quinn, do you guys or anyone else find it annoying when one person uses a move as a finisher, like Lacey using the moonsault, then others use it so casually in matches? I like the long worded questions because you guys are very eloquent today.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't bother me. I mean, like, the Usos do 25 super kicks and then Shawn Michaels does one, and it's fine. You know, like, it's the more power. You have to believe in the power of that move.
Will we be getting an emo Bailey soon? God, I hope. Bad girl
Hollywood.
Bailey.
Bad girl Bailey, Hollywood
but,
Bailey.
But she's doing things that she thinks is bad, but it's not. She'll take somebody's gum without asking out of the bag.
Could I drop one F-bomb?
I'll dump you. Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna see when it's coming.
Okay.
But so on Monday night, on Tuesday night, when they had the promo, and then Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose interrupted Paige, and I think they were calling out Bailey, or the Iconics were calling out Bailey.
Okay.
And if Bailey just broke character, got on the mic, and was just like, you ready?
Yeah.
Was just like, fuck you. Like, really as hardcore as possible, you know, like, hey, you know what? F you.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh my God, like Hollywood Bailey's here.
No, I just wanted to do like bad things, like cussing and feel bad.
Like, I'll poop.
Yeah. Make her into like Butters. You know what? She's the equivalent of Butters on that roster. Bailey is the equivalent of Butters.
But she needs
Professor Chaos.
Yeah, she needs Professor Chaos. From another one from Tyquise Morton. Do you guys think that WWE is really going to push Lacey Evans? This seems like Eva Marie all over again.
The effing moon.
Have you been watching wrestling lately?
Yeah, dude. And I kind of like Lacey.
Yeah, same here, man.
She's improved tremendously. So I kind of like, having her there. And the way that you feel about not liking her is what you're supposed to feel.
I thought you were going to say the way you feel when you look at her is how you're supposed to feel, which is true. Sheamus has a concussion. Shinsolidus, when does Baron Corbin get his title shot?
Next week.
Next week. They love Baron Corbin.
They love him.
Green Lives Matter. Do you guys ever get plastered and do each other's hair? No. Andrew will not let anybody near his hair.
You know who's done my hair?
Who?
When my hair was really long?
Who?
Little Lauren. She braided my hair during a pay-per-view.
Okay.
She put in cornrows.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a French braid going back.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful.
What is if somebody patted you on the head, how would you take that?
I would eat their face.
Would you just get like so enraged?
And I don't like people touching my ears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got a weird ear thing, and nobody touches my hair.
Would you get paralyzed with rage? Just like so mad that you can't do anything?
It's like sometimes I get that when people call me Andy.
Oh yeah, you hate that.
Yeah.
Who called you Andy?
It's always old guys that are being really condescending as human beings.
Okay, Andy.
Yeah. Hey, get my friend Andy over here a drink.
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
You know a lot of old guys.
I do know a lot of old
We
guys.
both know a lot of older men.
Yeah.
That like for some reason love us. That's a very weird thing too. We almost got followed into a restaurant last week.
We did actually.
By,
That was weird.
by a guy who I don't know what his deal was.
Friends.
I think he wanted friends, but he just kept asking us questions as we were walking down the street. And I think he wanted to extend oral services our way.
Stoop one of us. Do you think Leo Rush will get a push soon? No, I don't think so.
Flat out, no.
Bobby's not leaving to go back to Bellator.
Apparently he has an open, according to the rumors, he has an open-ended contract where he could do a fight and then come back.
With WWE?
Yeah.
Because
it's not like, let's face it, Bellator isn't like as big as UFC, but it's still something, it's still very credible. And I think maybe Vince was like, yeah, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I know that it was reported that after SummerSlam he may take some time off, but I don't know if he wants to get back He has a pretty good record, and I don't know if he wants to ruin that.
Oh, this is it. Nicholas Quinn on fire with the questions today. If you could choose one PPV, that's pay-per-view, and one wrestler's entire library to take with you on a desert island, if you were sent there, what would you take? That's interesting. Also, probably would be the furthest thing from my mind if I was ever like if a boat crashed.
All right, you got to pick one pay-per-view,
and I'm like, and Andrew's like, Rich, what are you gonna pick? The boat's sinking. Oh, that's a good question. What would you pick? I can't.
One pay-per-view would have to be
In Your House 97.
I would want it to be like the longest shows, right? Because
So this last WrestleMania.
I would pick one of like the newer WrestleManias.
Okay.
And then I would probably pick Ric Flair's entire library.
Oh, that's good because you want like a lot of matches. I'd probably go with WrestleMania 17 because it's crazy top to bottom and it's very distracting.
WrestleMania 17.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something, and I say this all the time. I don't think WrestleMania 17 was as good as everybody makes it out to be.
But it was a very kinetic and chaotic show, which is why I bring it on
I
the
had
island.
rewatched it recently, and that Austin Rock match was good. And you had TLC on there.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, there was nothing that really... I think you had Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle on that show, too.
Yeah. And as far as a entire wrestler's library, it would probably be Shawn Michaels.
Oh, you want Shawn's library.
I would take Shawn's library just because, like, he wrestled everybody I like.
Okay, here's WrestleMania. You're taking WrestleMania 17?
WrestleMania 17, and I'll take the Shawn Michaels library.
So you had Chris Jericho, William Regal, Taz in the APA versus Right to Censor with Stevie Richards. Kane defeated Raven and the Big Show in that crazy hardcore match.
Right.
Eddie versus Test. Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. China versus Ivory. Shane versus Vince. Edge versus Dudley's versus the Hardys. The Iron Sheik won that battle over the top battle royal, and Hunter Taker and Austin Rock. I rewatched it, and I didn't get the oh my god, this is unbelievable feeling that I used to get from this.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one.
No, you're thinking of the right one.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're thinking of the right one. This is historically known to be probably the best one.
Blah, 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 blah. Transferring Heat podcast. Will we get to see the Big O do splits soon? That would be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
From Turgor, do you see Vince dipping into NXT again anytime soon? No.
No, because they pretty much have nobody left.
Yeah. They need
to build the stars that they have right now.
Well, they got Shane Strickland, they got Kushida, and then you have your Gargano. I do think when Gargano makes it to the main roster, they're gonna rename. They're not gonna rename him, but they're gonna change his first name to Gianni.
Gianna.
Yeah, Gianni. Like Gianni, like very Italian.
Gianni Gargano.
No, I think NXT is gonna be its own thing for a while. Gargano needs to hold that boat together at this point.
Yeah.
I do like that. There's one guy that I feel like is very interesting, and I like the promo that happened the other day with Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, he's on the main roster now.
Buddy Murphy was great on NXT. Buddy Murphy got moved to 205 Live unceremoniously and became like their best champion and was always called the WWE's best kept secret. And the fact that he's on the main roster now, I really, really like. And he was a dude that I didn't think was going to break that ceiling like Ali did.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
I think you're right. I think that was a good pick. Oh, we got the best one. Is Vince by Vicky?
My wife.
Vince human or hot dog?
Both.
It's meatball.
He's a hume dog.
Heel Matt Riddle versus Gargano SummerSlam weekend? No, they're keeping him babyface.
No, you're gonna get. I think maybe the next big call up is gonna end up being Velveteen or Adam Cole.
Velveteen Dream.
Guys,
I would love to see him.
Guys, give us your questions no matter how wacky and weird they may be.
All right, you want to do just another minute and then we can wrap it up?
Absolutely.
Strickland versus ACH will be a great match. Met them. Yeah, they're both phenomenal.
It's more of a statement.
Yeah, that's...
Who is your favorite on the NXT roster?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole.
Okay, what about Gargano?
He's up there.
Yeah. Adam Cole's your guy, and the Undisputed Era.
I love that whole thing, which they seem to be teasing to something. So I like that whole crew. I love Matt Riddle. I love Velveteen.
Mm-hmm. You love everybody.
I love everybody. Yeah.
And guess what? Everybody loves you.
Who's their tag team division? Like, what is it? Street Profits, right? That's
Street Profits. You got. You know, I haven't watched NXT in a while, so I can't really say anything.
Their tag division is a little banged up.
Oh, very banged
very
up.
light.
And it's funny too because they brought up so many NXT tag teams and or NXT guys, and it's a weird circle jerk where everybody loves to say that Vince hates tag team wrestling, but then when he gives it to us, it takes away from tag team wrestling. Basically, like there's nothing on SmackDown and there's nothing on NXT now, but you do get like Otis and Tucker.
I love them, and they're not doing much with them right now.
If you guys could book the women's tag team division, who would you have feuding with the Iconics first? I think you keep the belt on the Iconics for a while, and I do like the spot, and they're amazing shits. They're really good shits.
Yeah.
I do like the Asuka Kairi Sane team.
I do like that team too. I would have said those titles should have been on Nia Jax and Tamina.
Oh, okay.
I would have loved to see them carry the titles for a little bit and have people,
Nia Jax is out. Double knee surgery, right?
Double knee surgery.
GBS, if you could bring any wrestler ever in their prime and put them in WWE right now, Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie in his prime in WWE right now would do extremely well.
Right? That gimmick would still work. Latino heat, lie, cheat, and steal.
Yeah. I mean, his charisma alone. That's a great question. You know what? Who I would love to see? Arn Anderson in his prime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Would you have him be with the Revival?
I would just have him be the terrifying, abusive father that he looked like when I was a kid.
Were you always scared of Arn Anderson?
Always scared of Arn Anderson. He looked like a dad that yells too much.
I think he's really the Beer City Bruisers.
Yeah. Actually, who do you think? Give me another person. That's an interesting question.
In their prime?
In their prime.
I mean, that's obvious. The obvious choice is going to be Shawn Michaels for me. But Eddie, I love Eddie.
Psycho Sid.
Oof.
I want to see Sid Vicious in his prime.
Big man.
Big guy, man.
Vader.
Vader in his prime in WWE.
I got a good one.
Yeah.
In his prime, Scott Hall.
In his prime, Scott Hall. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one.
He would be feuding with Roman until the cows came home.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good one.
Wouldn't you like to see a Roman Reigns Scott Hall feud?
The Battle of the Wet Hair?
Spooky Fingers versus
Spooky
the
Fingers.
Scott Hall does this and Roman just does this the whole time?
Back and forth.
Alternating?
All right, guys, let's wrap it up.
Yeah,
go to
baby.
the website, jfknetwork.com. Subscribe to the podcast everywhere podcasts are available. BTC Rich on Twitter, at Andrewzarian on Twitter. We'll be back next week. See you later.
Right on. Yeah.
All right. I totally forgot I got this other show. How about Prime Carlito? No, he was there.
He was there in his private. I don't know.
I wouldn't want to see Ric Flair. Like,
why? Why not? It made you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
The hair's too long, too sexy.
I don't know. I don't know how Rick in his prime would do.
Rick in his prime had one of the best tans of all time.
Best hair.
Best hair, best tan. He was just the best. Goodbye.
All right, let me close this out. I got to write show notes for that show. All right, guys, see you later.